Hello guys, we are back with another video and today we are going to compare the new reskins to the old ones and we are going to rate the units according to their differences between the previous models and the newer ones. So we all saw the new updated versions of the units. This is a tire maker, the S tier is here, A, B, C, D and D. D is the worst, S is the best. So without further ado, let's check out the units and compare them to the original designs, now the non-upgraded ones. Okay, let's start. First unit, we have the Arambai. Let's watch the Arambai and what changes they did make to it. Here is the Arambai. So this is the original unit, this is the new one. All I can say right now, it is a nice unit. The difference is of the hat and a slightly more armored version of the unit. It's exactly what it needed. For me, it is a perfect reskin. It doesn't need too much of equipment. It's supposed to be an agile unit, a fast unit. The hat is nice. I don't know if it is historically accurate or the rest of the armor the unit has. The horse is basically the same with some few additions for aesthetic reasons and nothing more. So for me it is a nice update. I wouldn't put it on the S tier though. I think it is going at A. It is a design that it was well remade. So I believe, but it's not something special. It's nice, but nothing that it will make you say it belongs to the S tier. So we are going to the next unit. It's the Berserker. Let's take a look at the Berserker. You already know my opinion about the Berserker. Okay, it's here. Let me focus one moment. Okay, here is the Berserker. I think the Berserker is one of the best skins they made compared to the older one. Although the older one is a classic, it was a well-made unit for all these years. A skin was a challenge in my opinion. It was already looking very nice, but they did such a great job with a new unit. I mean, it has the helmet is more distinguished from the previous one. The armor is better, it's darker in a way. It looks beefier, the unit looks beefier. So it's even the feet looks different. Basically the only thing that looks the same is the shield. And I like the fact they added the fur at the back, some kind of rings at their arms. Beautiful unit. It definitely deserves to be at the S tier. So we move on to the Boyar. Let's find the Boyar. Here is the Boyar. Basically it doesn't have much of a difference from the original one. The only major difference it has the cape. You can see it has a cape now. And there are gold additions to its armor at the horse. And maybe some changes at the shield. It seems that in this update the elite versions get too much gold details on the units. So nothing very different compared to the previous model. It's not bad either. I like it. It did something that it didn't alter the unit at all. But it's not something special too. So now I'm not judging the units individually, like completely separated from the original version. Here I'm judging the units compared to the previous version. If I put the Boyar to last place, I don't mean I don't like the Boyar in general. It means I don't like the new skin. Okay, so the Boyar, for me it goes to be nothing too special. It's alright that they did this, but it is not some kind of amazing reskin like the Berserker. So let's move on to the Camel Rider. Raider, whatever. Let's find the Camel Rider somewhere here. Okay, this is the Camel Rider. Basically, the main difference with the original unit is what I wanted to see. It has some kind of chainmail armor or something like that. I don't know if it is some kind of fabric. I can't tell the difference. But as you can see here, it's a nice upgrade. It's not something fancy. It's not something very eye-catching. It is a small detail. I like that idea. So this unit compared to the original, it has nice touches. So for me this unit, it goes at the, I am between A and B. I will say it is the same as the Boyar. It has some changes, not that important, small details, nice, nothing special. B is basically not bad, not good, something in between. A is very nice, S is perfect, C not that good, D it's out of this list, it's not nice. Let's go, the next unit, it's the Cataphract. Now the Cataphract, if you watched my previous videos, I've already had negative opinions about it. Let me explain why. I like the guy on the horse, the cape here, the extra armor at the shoulders, it looks more beefier than the previous model of course, but the helmet is awful. I think the previous model had a much better helmet. And the horse should have something like the Centurion has here, we're going to see later. The Centurion has this kind of mail for the armor. I expected to see something similar here too, but I didn't. It is one of the most beloved units of the game. It's my favorite unit of the game. It has a huge fan base, and you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to judge it more strictly than the others. I will say that besides that place of the armor, it's nice, the unit itself, the helmet and the horse ruins the reskin for me. I was debating to put it at the worst list, but I am between C and D, but because it's something I wanted to see completely different, this is, I'm sorry guys, it is going at the end of the list. I expected much more for the Cataphract, something like the Berserker, something extreme. But let's move on, let's see the next unit. It's a Chakram Thrower. Let's take a look of the Chakram Thrower. This is the unit before, it looked naked in a way, with short pants. I didn't like the original unit besides the very beautiful animation attack with the throwing rings, chakrams, how you call this. But the unit, the way they reskin the unit, I like it very much. It did an exceptional job. The pants now are longer, it has rings on this back, it's no longer naked that way. I have nothing negative to say, small details, subtle, perfect for me. It was, I was between A and S tier, I don't know. I might be a bit harsh with that, but it will stay at A tier. It's nice, but not extreme changes, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's put it in S tier. It's very nice. It's a well-made unit. So let's move on to the Tsukuno. Where is Tsukuno? Okay, it's here. This was one of my favorite reskins I saw so far. The addition, they made the helmet to have some extra details. Now it's covered with heavily armor, with plates I think, or hard leather, something like that. I like everything about this unit. Everything they did with this unit is perfect for me. I'm not going to stay and comment anymore about this. It is without doubt an S tier unit, and it stays there. Now let's go. No, this unit it isn't for us for right now. To the Conquistador. Let's take a look. Where is the Conquistador? It's here. Okay, let me explain some things about this. I don't like it. I mean, look these units together. This one has a helmet, this one has a helmet with feathers at the top. You can't tell if this is some kind of fabric, or I know it's not fabric, you can clearly see it's a helmet, but the colors make it look that it is a hat, not a helmet. The previous model also had, it was easier to see that it wears a plate mail here. Here you can't even see that there is a plate mail. The only better aspect of the new unit, of the new reskin, is that the horse has one small detail actually here, that red part. I don't like what they did with it. I think it is a downgrade. So the Conquistador goes along with the Cataphract. These two units need, in my opinion, they need definitely a reskin. Okay, let's move on. The Coustillier. Coustillier, they did the perfect reskin. Basically it's the same unit, but now it has full scale armor. You can see every part of this body is covered with armor. The horse also got some kind of armor, more protection. It looks an elite version of the original unit. I would prefer that it wasn't gold, it was silver. Imagine if this unit was silver. But other than that, it is an awesome reskin. I really like this reskin. So this is an A tier because I wanted it to be silver and not gold. Gold looks, for some reason, looks out of place here. This is my opinion, of course. If it was silver, it would be a tier, an S tier unit for sure. Let's move on. We have the Beto. It's Beto. Where is it Beto? Oh, here it's Beto. Okay, the main difference is they added more some kind of armor and some spikes, bones around the neck with some shoulder plates, I don't know, something like that. It's a nice reskin. They didn't have to go too far to this unit to make it look more special, but other than that, it's not that good, it's not that bad. For me, it's better. Will go at the B list. It's something that it is okay, they did a nice job. Other than that, nothing more special. Let's take a look at the Genitour. Let's find the Genitour. Genitour is here. Well, with the Genitour they did a really nice job. I like the fact that the only thing they could do to a unit that is supposed to hit and run, you can't put a full armor on the horse because it would look heavier. They couldn't put extra equipment on the horseman for the same reason. So, some kind of scale armor, not that heavy, a helmet, and the rest is the same. For me, it's perfect. It needs nothing more. It should stay the way they made it now. Perfect reskin. For me, the Genitour goes at the A place here. It doesn't go to the S tier because it's quite simple, but it is not the fault of the, 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 so it goes to the A tier list. Now the Genoese Crossbowman, one of my favorite units. Let's take a look. Okay. With this unit they did the best things they could do. What are the changes? Now it has a more nice a nicer helmet actually. It has armor and the shield became bigger, rectangular. It is rectangular now. Basically it looks like heavier armored unit compared to the original. I like this specific one. It's not an S tier because it doesn't have something extremely special that it will make it jaw dropping, if you know what I mean. So for me this unit goes to the A list here. Also this one could be almost the S tier, but let's move on. The Gulam, let's see the Gulam. Where is the Gulam? The Gulam is here. The Gulam basically gets a bigger helmet, bigger shield I think, and besides that, no changes. Did we needed more changes for the Gulam? I don't think so. I think they did the right thing to keep it the same basically. So the Gulam for me goes to B tier. Nothing at C for now. Let's check the Huskarl. The Huskarl, they did the best. This is one of the best reskins. Look, they did exactly. It was a hard unit to predict, or a hard unit for the developers to make, and to make it look more elite in a way. If you think it has already some kind of armor, it has a helmet, it is fully armored, I mean it is fully equipped. There were no choices actually to make it look better, but the developers actually achieved the purpose of making it look more elite, and actually they did a great job, a fantastic job. There is no question for me, the Huskarl goes to the S tier. Now let's check the Hussar wagon. I'm sorry guys, my phone. I hope that it doesn't hear that, it doesn't sound that much on the video. Okay, let's move on. The Hussar wagon. Basically what they did, they changed the wheels, they made the iron protection here plates, they made it from wooden to iron. Subtled changes, nothing too special. The ankle also, the ankle here is different. I like the way they didn't try to do something very different. They kept it simple, small details. I like this unit, but nothing too much impressive, and they did so it goes to the B section here with the others. So the Jaguar Warrior now. Let's see the Jaguar Warrior. Here is the Jaguar Warrior. The original unit and the new unit. And of course, I definitely like here what they did with the Jaguar Warrior. The shield with the feathers, it looks something similar to the Eagle Warrior, to the elite version of the Eagle Warrior, and now next to an Eagle Warrior they look so similar, so very nice detail this one. Without a doubt, the Jaguar Warrior is a nice tier too. Because why? Because they made so many changes compared to the original, but they are so tasteful. I can't wait to play with this unit, to be honest, but let's move on. Next we have the Janissary. Let's see the Janissary. Not many things to say about the Janissary. it is a fantastic unit. They finally, after all these years, they put it up, they put it on the hat. I wish that the normal version had also like the Imperial Janissary, who has a smaller hat than that. But that's just a small detail, it doesn't matter anyway. The thing that matters now is that we finally have an elite version of the Janissary that actually looks awesome, insanely awesome. It looks buffered, it looks like that now it hits the gym, and I don't know what else, but it is perfect. Without a doubt. Also, it goes to the S tier. Let's now check the Kamayuk. Now, about the Kamayuk, basically what they did, it is the reverse of what they did with the other units. I think this is the original version, and this is the castle unit before it is upgraded to elite. You can see the difference here. I like the idea that this unit looks more simple in a way, nothing too special. I wouldn't mind to have some extra additions like the elite version. I have mixed feelings about this. For me, the Kamayuk, it's I would say it's at the B list. It's almost at the C. I will keep it at the C list because the simpler version before the elite upgrade it looks extremely simple, if you know what I mean. Extremely simple. They could added some more details. Maybe I am too harsh on this, I don't know, but let's move on. Guys, if you don't agree with me at the comments, you can you can say at the comments what is your opinion, how would you rate them. Anyway, let's go to the Karambit Warrior. A unit I never liked, I'm not gonna lie. It is a nice unit to play, I mean from a aesthetic point of view. It looks weird to me, it looks like a Disney hero for some reason, from a cartoon or something like that. So what they did with the Karambit Warrior, the unit I didn't like, they put a full armor on it, full scale armor, plate armors. Here I can't clearly see. I like the idea they did. Now it has even more details, more fabric here and there. It has an amazing helmet. Now it definitely looks like a menacing looking unit. The difference between the original and the upgraded, for me, it is an S tier unit, because it looked so ugly in my opinion before. Now it looks super amazing. But let's move on to the Keshik. Where is the Keshik? Okay, there it is. The Keshik looks like a super extremely powerful Cataphract now. I have mixed feelings about this. What I don't like is that when you change the color of the player, look how much of a difference it makes compared to the other color. This is a yellow color, this is a blue color. It changes the color of the whole horse here, and that I don't like that thing. I would prefer for the horse to stay the same color and change only maybe the feathers and some other details on its armor. I don't know if this thing is armor or something else. Anyway, I like the fact that it looks more heavily now, but doesn't feel like it is historically accurate. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. This unit baffles me in a way. So, what I do with the Keshik? I don't know if I like it or not. Definitely it looks stronger, which is a nice point, but I don't think Keshik needed to look more stronger. I mean, the original unit already looks very heavily armored. So this unit goes at C tier. I mean, I like it, but it looks over heavily armored. I think it doesn't fit its character historically. That's all. This looks more suitable, more Mongolian type unit, and already has too much armor on it. Okay, you can't argue with me at that unit. I might be wrong. I might change my opinion in the future. I don't mean I don't like this unit, okay guys? Of course I like it, but it doesn't feel fitting to the civilization. That's what I mean. But let's move on. Next we have the Kipchak. So let's take a look at the Kipchak. In my previous video, I said myself that the Kipchak needed some kind of change. Let's take a quick closer look at the unit. You see it right here. Although the original version is very nice, it's very fitting for the civilizations, the elite version it's perfect in my opinion. They only had to add a hat and maybe some kind of decorations on the horse, which they did. To me, it is exactly what it needed to be done. I was very pro about adding a hat at the elite version. Basically, this unit, I have nothing more to say about it. It is very nice. It is simple to the point that it feels it belongs to the A tier. Maybe it doesn't have so many changes, but that is what it makes it actually good, so it will stay at the A tier here with the others. Maybe it was more fitting for B tier, but the small details is exactly what I was thinking also when I heard they are going to reskin the units, the elite version, so let's keep it here. Now next we have the Konnik from the Bulgarians, so let's find the Konnik and do... where's the Konnik? Konnik, where are you? Here is the Konnik. I like the fact that they kept almost the same. The unit looks almost the same with the previous one. Once again we see the same theme, gold everywhere. I don't like that idea. You could put this kind of protection of the back of the horse here, the neck of the horse could be silver, so the shield could be also silver. I don't know, they added gold everywhere. I don't know how I feel about the feathers here. It looks weird to me. It looks like when I wake up in the morning and my hair are messed up, something like that. And I mean it in a good way because Konnik is one of my favorite units. I like it so much. It's the only unit also who has a flail, so bonus for that. But the original unit already looked too impressive, so changes must have been very difficult. I would just have stayed with changing only some kind of armor patches for the horses. The unit itself, I would keep it as it is. I don't like the changes, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't hate them too. Definitely it's not here with the Cataphract and the Conquistador, but it is at the C tier. That's the place I think it belongs. Now let's go to the ladies. My ladies, where is the ladies? And hello there. This is the new version of the ladies. What can I say about it? Whoever did this design had it's an artist. I can't say anything more. Fantastic upgrade. The original looks very cool already, and the upgrade looks like some kind of it reminds me of the Teutonic Knight from the scenario editor. Somehow it looks like something Paladin, Lithuanian Paladin, extremely nice unit. I'm not going to discuss every aspect of this unit, it already looks very cool. This helmet here, I don't remember how it is called. All the additions, I think the same kind of helmet, it is the Crusader Knight has the same helmet, I think. I don't remember, I will have to check it out later. But for me, this one and the Berserk, best units in the game. Best units in the game. Definitely it goes at the S tier and maybe completely in the front along with the Berserk, but I will keep it as is. Next we have the Longbowman. What they did here is that they kept the original design, they added some armor here. The changes were reversed if I recall correctly once again. Nothing too special, both units for an archer, both units look nice. I wouldn't mind if this was stayed as the elite version. I like the extra, of course the extra armor on this elite one. I prefer the helmet from the previous, I don't know guys. I have mixed feelings also about this. I will keep it at the C tier. B, it would be nice. Actually, it is for the B. Their changes are not bad or good either. It will stay here with the others. Magyar Huszar. Let's take a look at the Magyar Huszar. Again, a unit that you have to pay attention to what's the differences. It's like the Konnik, it has some kind of armor in the horse right here on its neck. The spear here has more details. Nothing too special. The changes are hardly there. You have to look very closely to notice any difference, but because it is already a very beautiful unit. It is a very awesome unit. I'm going to give it a good grade because they didn't change it so much, and that's a good fact, so it goes to the A tier. Everything that they left almost the same, and it was already a good unit, it deserves to be ranked higher. So it stays at the A tier here. Next we have the Mameluke. Let's take a look at the Mameluke. Oh boy. I don't like this unit, guys, I'm sorry. This to me looks more armored, maybe because the helmet matches the neck protection chainmail that it has, from the original unit. The new one looks like the guy that sells carpet if you visit Egypt and want to buy a souvenir when you return home from holidays. You can find these guys around the streets of Egypt. And, don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. I would prefer to have some kind of more. I know there is armor somewhere here, or this fabric itself is the armor. I don't like it. No, the skin was bad. The previous unit needed some upgrades in my opinion. The original needed many upgrades, and the new one just looks like a fatter unit and nothing more. So for me, it goes at the bottom with the other units here. I don't know why the developers did such a great job with some of the original units like the Berserk, the Huskarl, the Janissary. They did perfect job. And why they did messed up with these 3 units here, I don't know. Let's go to the Mangudai. Where is the Mangudai? Here's the Mangudai. Okay, for the Mangudai, they've changed almost nothing. small details on the horse, and the feather at the top of the helmet is no longer red. That means for me, without wanting to spend much time on criticizing other aspects of the unit, for me, A or S. S tier because Mangudai is one of the most amazing units of the game and need not to be changed. They didn't change it. I'm happy about that. It goes at the S tier list. It looked amazing in the past. It looks amazing now. I don't know about the red feather here, if I want it here too, but this feather, the new one, looks more fitting with the rest of the armor. You see now it has some of the shoulder armor, something, protection. Anyway, they did what they have to do. Perfect decision not to mess around with this unit. Let's move on. Missionary, I'm not going to judge the missionary. The Obuke depends on which country you are from. I searched it at Google Translate and it's something like Obuke, but I'm going to tell you to call it Obuch. Anyway, this unit. There were not many things you can do about this unit. Basically it's the same. It has some silvering armor now compared to this one that looked like leather. It now has a helmet. The details on its weapon, the gold details weren't necessary in my opinion. The leg patches are nice, but nice small details. Without thinking it too much, it goes at the B list, meaning it is good, it is not good, it is not bad, something between. Let's move on to the organ gun. Where is the organ gun? Okay, here is the organ gun. Now about the organ gun, what I wanted to say about it is, of course, it is obvious it has more guns at the top. Why the developers were so lazy about this unit? I mean, they only added the extra guns at the top, some shoulder patches with different colors. The organ gun for me, it's not a unit I like for the Portuguese. I think they need another unique unit. But this is just me, maybe. I don't like what they did. I mean, I like the fact that now it has more guns up here, but it needed to change more. I mean, this guy needed to have some kind of more armor, of some other things. I don't know, it feels... If you take a quick glance from afar, you will notice nothing. That's what I'm trying to tell. So for me, the organ gun goes at the bottom with the others. It was already, in my opinion, a not good looking unit, and now it stays a not good looking unit. Now let's go and find out the Plumed Archer. Where is the Plumed Archer? Here is the Plumed Archer. This is it is reversed also as some previous units. This one looks more naked, this one looks more elite, the feathers are fewer here. Nice, nothing special. Again, for me, it belongs to the B series. Not too good, not too bad, something between. This, basically the B tier is units I don't mind, I like what they did and nothing more. That's all. The disliked tiers are C and D, of course. Let's move on to the Rattan Archer, I said Rattan, not Rattan, Rathar. The Ratha Chariot, anyway. Okay, this is the elite version. I like what they did here. They basically made an armor, a distinguishable armor for the unit. The shield is better. I like that they made the drawings at the sides of the chariot. The horses also got some more detailed drawings at their backs or armor, I don't know what it is. Again we see the same pattern with more gold parts, but in the specific unit I think they are fitting. I like the idea, it looks more colorful now in a way. The previous looked more plain. If not many details, this looks wooden here. This is also, I believe that is also wood, but now with the drawings it looks more eye-catching in a way. The shield here looks better. It is a nice, not something special, but it is a nice upgrade. I like what I see here with the Rattan, with the Rattan chariot, so it goes at the A. It could be at the S, but it has not something really special to deserve to be at the S tier. So we move on. Actually, what is to see next? It's the Rattan Archer. Where is the Rattan Archer? Okay, the Rattan Archer, if you watch it from afar, do you see any difference? I see none. That's because there is almost none difference, and that is the right thing to do with this unit. The way it looked before, there is no space for changes for me for this unit. They did the right thing to just do some alternations here at the shoulders and maybe some kind of extra decoration or skirt on the front, the boots maybe, but that's all small details. You don't want to mess this unit up. It is a very good looking unit, so for me they did a nice job here. The Rattan Archer goes at the A tier. Maybe it could, I was debating with myself if it could fit at the S tier, but let's keep it there. Let's go to the Samurai. Where is the Samurai? Here is the Samurai. Okay, the better banner at the back, the armor looks more aggressive. Again, we see the same theme, the gold theme. Basically, I don't like it in most units that it has gold themes here and there, but in the Samurai, it looks very fitting. The golden details, whatever color you choose as a player, always looks very, as I said, very fitting. I like this unit, I like what they did with that. Although it looks like now like a custom hero or something like that. But I also like the flag a lot. Not many things to say about it. I love this unit. It was perfect. They managed to make it even better. I don't know how they did it, but they did. So it's an S tier 2. Let's move on to the Sergeant. Where is the Sergeant? Here is the Sergeant. Okay, the Sergeant, it's perfect. They made it, the leather armor, they made it now into a chain armor. The helmet now it's turned to a more aggressive, bigger helmet. The axe, I think it's a little bigger too. It's a more shiny unit, I like this very much. The only thing I don't like compared to the previous unit, it's the shield. I would prefer the previous shield. But this one is nice too. It's nice too. It is one of the best reskins they did. I can't say anything else but that it belongs to the S tier too. Now let's go to the Shuttle Warrior. The Shuttle Warrior it's from the reversed units. They built it a non-elite version, what I mean. I like the non-elite version compared to the elite. Again, it is what they have they should have done, they did right. Fitting details, I like this unit. Not many things to say about it. The fact that now the one has helmet, the previous one has a turban, the armor looks different. Small changes, nothing too special. It is here for the B tire. Now the okay, this unit I can't spell his name. Okay, I will try to do it. Srivamsa Rider. Okay, I did it. What kind of names are those? Okay, a very powerful unit, of course. What they did with it is changing this one into a more armored one, basically. Not that much of a difference. I didn't want to see so many differences in the previous model on the original because it already looked as it should be, at least historically, if I'm not mistaken. So let's say that they did a good job with that. The horse has small details, some small differences. It's not good, it's not bad, so it goes at the B tier list. And now let's go to the Tarkan. I don't know if many of you would agree with me, but for me the Tarkan now looks great. What they did with the reskin, it's perfect. In my opinion, the Tarkan always needed some kind of reskin. For me, this unit, although I love this unit because of the campaigns I have played, it is one of the classic units. I always liked it, but compared to the others, looked more not that beautiful. I can't find the right word to use here, but the new one, it's perfect for me. It has the kind of Avar style helmet with feathers, metallic feathers, real feathers, I don't know what it is. The armor looks better, oh, not armor, the clothing looks better. The horse also has some small additions. I think whoever made this, besides the fact that I don't say it's the most beautiful unit or something like that, I compare it with the previous model and what a unit of the Huns would look like, a horseman of the Huns, and I think it is a perfect depiction, the unit they did, on how a Hun would look. For me, this unit, I know you might disagree with me, it's an S tier unit. They did a fantastic job with me. Let's go next to the Teutonic Knight. Okay. Should I speak here? I think I should just skip. Okay, I'm not going to point out the good points of this unit. Of course, it's the fair, it's the cross, it's the crest on the helmet. I will say only one negative I have about this unit. The elite version no longer looks like a normal unit. This elite version could, if you saw it in the editor and no one told you that it is a regular unit, you would say it's a hero unit. I mean, I can imagine an army of this kind of looking units led by this one. I can't imagine that 100 of these units be the main army. The crest of the helmet represents leadership. For me, it looks like it would be better if this one was a hero unit, as it is with the horseman that looks like the same. I don't remember which one hero is. You know which one I'm talking about, the Teutonic Knight, the Crusader Knight with the crest on the head, the same crest. So the only disadvantage I find is that it looks too good to be just a unit, the way they made it. Other than that, it's the best unit of the game right now. Despite what I've said, it's definitely going to the S tier list and first place too. I have to put it on the first place, sorry guys if you disagree. This is just my opinion. Let's move on, the Throwing Axeman. Okay, when I first saw the Throwing Axeman at the sneak peeks of the developers of the game of the update, I didn't notice the feather and I thought it was something like without the feather, and the guy was looking exactly like a Varangian. Basically a helmet that covers the head and the eyes, and the rest was a chainmail for the neck and the body. Now I would like this unit much more if it didn't have the feather at the helmet at the top. To me it looks out of place. I mean, if you remove the feather, the unit for some weird reason would look 10 times better. Of course, the developers kept the huge axes that are unrealistic, of course, but we already used to this kind of unit for over 20 years now. So for me, this Throwing Axeman, it would go to the S tier, because something feels out of place, the feather, that much it annoys me, to the point to put it one tier below from the S. It could be easily at the S tier. It's the details that ruined it for me. Actually, no. Let's be fair. Compared to the original unit, this one is a badass. It's extremely beautiful compared to the previous one. My mistake, it's an S tier. The Throwing Axeman used to be... Whenever I looked at this unit, I never cared to play with Throwing Axeman when I used Franks, because not only they are useless to me in most scenarios, but you always opt for Paladins. But now, even if it is not needed, I will try to train Throwing Axeman just for watching in the game, to see them around throwing their axes. Also, a negative, again we see the gold theme. I would prefer everything on it to be silver. Okay, let's move on. We talked too much about the Throwing Axeman. The turtle ship. Let's take a look at the turtle ship. What's the difference with the elite version? A bigger flag? It's the same. The golden spikes at the back? What else? It is something you said, I don't. And maybe now the eyes have color. I expected to have sails in the elite version, you know. I don't like this. It feels very cheap in some way. Now the neck here is silver. No, they could just put sails here, nothing more. Just sails, don't change the original design. I know there is a danger to when changing a unit and when altering and too much details it will lose its character, but this one with just some sails here, it would look different from the original and still retain its character, so I don't like what I see here. It is the tier for me. The Urumi Swordsman, if you can call this kind of thing a sword that is holding. Where is the Urumi? Okay, here it is. I told you before, I hate this unit. This one here. This one, I hate it too. But it looks better. A lot better, maybe. I like the fact that I also suggested that they should switch from the single whip to the multiple ones. They did that alright in my opinion. They could have added longer pants, some kind of turban, not that one, a little bit bigger, to make it look more distinguishable from the previous unit. But of course, this one already looks much different from the original unit. I did like they tried to change it. I wanted it to change much more, but this is what we've got, so the Urumi Swordsman for me goes to C. I wanted to see changes, and not the changes we saw. We needed something more than this, in my opinion. Now let's go to the War Elephant. Oh no. Again, the first thing I noticed is that when changing color, it changes all the fabric, not the details also. In the older version, it only changes a part of the fabric. Now changing the whole color of the elephant is annoying to me, at least to my eyes. But now let's get to the details. This is now gold. And the tooth, the teeth here. Teeth, horns, how it's called? Teeth, I believe they are teeth. They look gold too. The spikes on the legs are gold too. The protection here, the underbelly protection almost, or maybe neck protection, is gold too. There are no units on its back. I know historically there were none units on its back. The elephant would be let free to charge on enemy units alone, without any unit on its back, like we saw at the Indian civilizations. I don't like the changes, guys. It's a bit disappointing. Basically what they did, let's put a patch here of the Persian Empire. Is this the medieval Persian symbol? It is from a house of the Persians, I don't know. It feels like it is from the older era. I might be wrong about this, I'm not good with recognizing that kind of things. But for sure I don't like the changes. Basically it's the same unit, different colors. It's the same unit that's silver here. Okay, let's make it gold. And put a symbol on its fabric on its back. No, that's not a reskin. That is called I'm bored to think anything special, so let's keep it simple. I understand that the developers didn't want to alter this unit because it is one of the most classics one, and they didn't want to make it many changes on it. I can understand that. So instead of putting it here with a D, I will put it in the C, because it's a unit you can't change it a lot without losing its character. So just changing the colors from silver to gold, it's the only option you have. I'm sure that even the developers didn't like the idea more gold for it, but they said, that's what I think, they said that we can't do anything different about it. Now let's move on to the War Wagon. Although I've heard from many fans and players at the forums that they don't like the new Elite version, they seem just... Actually they don't like the original version, if I am not mistaken. But in my opinion, they did a nice reskin. I really like the spikes at its top. I really like the fact that they added a banner. The horses look more armored. Again, of course, there is too much gold here. And again, all the fabric of the horse changes color depending on what color you choose as a player, and I don't like this. I would prefer just small details to change and nothing more. But overall, it's a nice change. The spikes are a very nice idea to me. I don't have much more things to say here. It changed in a positive way. So for me, it is at A tier. It is not bad, but it is good. It is okay. Let's move on. The Wood Raider. Okay, let's have fun with that. Here is the Wood Raider, one of the most classic units too. And they change it into this. Okay, let's start with the positives. Positive is that it's actually the same unit. We can clear it well. The next positives are... I'm still thinking. Maybe there are no more positives. I like the shield. It looks more... the previous looks wooden. This one looks something like iron. I don't know. They put it some kind of rings at its arms, like the Berserker has. Nice addition, small detail. But the helmet, for me, it looks weird. I understand that it makes the unit look more equipped, but the fact that it has the feather also, it looks strange to me. It looks like it was at a battle, and after the battle it took of the dead person some equipment and took it for itself. But maybe that's what they were trying to do also. So I don't know, guys. I have mixed feelings about this. Also, it looks like it has a huge belly compared to the previous one. Maybe he drinks too much beer, I don't know. It's okay. I don't know if I like it or not. I would say it goes to the C tier. I would prefer the original unit, of course. The helmet looks out of place, but it's not horrible. It's not okay, it's not good, it's not horrible, so it will stay at the C tier. Next we have the Centurion. Where is the Centurion? And here is the Centurion. Basically what they did, it changed the armor of the horse from silver to gold. That's new. And they made the unit look more... it has more details now, more armor patches and anything. Nothing is super changed here. But also this kind of horse should be added to this unit here. The Cataphract should have this kind of armor. If you search at Google, the only real Cataphract horse armor they found, it is a gold one, and it looks exactly like this. So historically, if you want to be historically accurate, this kind of armor of the horse must be here on this horse, and get rid of this helmet. It looks like the plate, the bowl of I used to eat my cereals in the morning. I don't like it. Yeah, just keep this one. Why did you change it to that? Enough with the Cataphract, let's get back to the Centurion. It's a unit I like. The differences are not many, small details again. Not a bad unit at all, not good, not bad. It will stay here. I don't like the idea that in the first place that they added the Roman civilization. So Centurion, I never really liked the Centurion. Why add Rome in game when you have Rome in game? Doesn't make sense. The Byzantines was the Roman Empire, the medieval Roman Empire actually. I know you might want it to make a separation between the Italian Romans and the Greek Romans. Okay, I understand this, but you already have Italians in the game and you already have Byzantines in the game, so this separation is already there. So anyway, let's move on. I drifted away again. Let's go to the Composite Bowman. Again, Composite Bowman, what kind of name is that? Okay, I'm getting dizzy now. Okay, here it is. Composite Bowman. What is the Armenian name of the archer? Just put that thing there. Why would you name it Composite Bowman? Okay, let's see the unit. I like the changes here for the Elite version. I always thought since they said that there's going to be an update of the Elite 3 skins, I thought that there are not many things to change in the original unit. It already looks cool, it already looks rich in a way. You see the cape, you see the armor, you see the helmet. What else you could change to make it look more elite? Actually, they've put a feather on the helmet, a nice coat of arms logo emblem, call it what you like, at the back, and the cape. Nice addition. They didn't mess a lot with this unit, and this is good enough for me. I like the unit. I liked this unit before. I like it as it is now. So for me, the Composite Bowman, it is a B tier list. It's not good. It is not bad. It stays as it is. And last, the rest of the units we're not going to take a look. Also, the Legionary is not included in the Byzantine Sans. The castle that had the shield on it, new reskin, the Legionary shield, there is on the Byzantine castle. So I thought the Byzantines might get the Legionaries, but it seems that they don't. But this is something for another video. Let's see the Monaspa now. The Monaspa, let's take a look. The Monaspa, is it a Georgian word? Because in Greek Monaspa seems like meaning one shield. But it might be Georgian for something else, and I am wrong right now. Where is the Monaspa though? Okay, here is the Monaspa. Also, it is one of the units that the developer said, okay, let's make the silver unit into a gold one for some weird reason. I prefer the older one. Simple as that. Because of the color changes, the rest of the unit also doesn't have something different. Because this one is silver, it also looks more tanky in my eyes, if you know what I mean. The only difference that makes it look better, it's this kind of flags here at the edge of the spear. But other than that, I prefer the previous model. I think that one needs also a remake. I don't like the helmet. The previous helmet is amazing for a Georgian helmet. This one looks like a Mongolian something. I don't know. Weird choices to make in order to reskin this unit. For me, it needs a reskin again, and it goes here with the worst units of the game. Okay, that were the units. One last note is, as you can see, I might have been a bit too harsh right now as I was describing the units, but I didn't want to sugarcoat it, the idea behind the new reskins. So you can tell that I liked the updates because most of the units here get an S tier. That means that most reskins in the game were amazing. I loved them. And these reskins here at the B and A tier, it means that they didn't ruin them, they did a better job from before that. That's a good fact. So basically, overall, I liked the changes, but what I didn't like is that one of the maybe some of my favorite and most iconic units of the game, like the Cataphract, the Conquistador, Mamelukes, War Elephants, War Raiders, Konniks, the reskins were bad, or maybe too bad. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments in what do you agree, which ones you agree, which ones do you didn't agree. Thank you for staying with me all this. It's a too long video. I hope I wasn't too annoying with my pronunciations. Okay guys, that is for today. Hope you liked it. We are going to make more tier lists in the future. Maybe with the castles, maybe with the Chinese new units, which I have many things to say, but I'm not going to tell them right now. Anyway, this is it. I will see you in the next video. See you later, guys.